Okay, so this is interview 2 for the Orthodox Cafe Pros of Wisdom project. We have here to find people of the church in St. Stylianos Mia, and I'd like them to introduce themselves. So could you please both introduce your name and your last name, obviously, and then also what you do and anything of note.
Okay, my name is Maria Taylor. We have 5 children, we've got 6 grandchildren. What do? I head up human resources and dealing with lots of people on a daily basis.
My name's Damien Taylor. I always make a joke at this stage saying that it's really a shortened Tayloropoulos, because when we talk to people in Greek, they don't believe we're Greek. So we always say that, and people sometimes think it's real, but we're only pretending. So my role, I've always been in franchising, so I do recruiting for a franchise at the moment.
Okay, so we're now going to ask both of you, can you share a bit about your personal journey with faith and how it has shaped your understanding of life?
Okay, coming from a Greek Orthodox family, faith has always been a part of my life. However, growing up and part of that journey, going through different phases of your life, that faith had changed, particularly probably around in my early teens and as a young adult. As we, I guess, go through the journey of life, for me, my faith has certainly gotten a lot stronger. Finding the right church has played a big importance in that. And having a partner to share that journey together has also been incredibly important. So it's certainly shaped where it's become a way of life for both of us. On a Sunday, it almost becomes like a reset in your life to take on the week quite freshly. So yeah, that's been our journey, and we're getting more and more closer to our faith.
Would you like to add anything?
For myself, so I grew up Catholic, so all my life my parents were quite religious, so I went to church every Sunday. Obviously a lot of similarities between Catholic and Greek Orthodox. I've always been, a person of faith. I've always thought of, doing the right thing. I think sometimes with life we sort of go through different paths, but it always brings us back to that. I guess for Maria, being a strong Greek Orthodox, I've always supported her in everything that she does, and certainly feel very comfortable at the church.
So this question is mostly for Maria. In moments of adversity or difficulty, how do you rely on Christian strengths and beliefs for strength and guidance?
I think it's fair to say I rely quite heavily on my faith. Obviously I've got my husband where we share a lot, however during those really dark moments, and we all go through those, there isn't a person that goes through life that doesn't go through the passage of pain or what have you. Prayer gets me through it, and it certainly has become more and more important as the years go by.
And now, Damien, what roles does prayer play in your daily life, and how do you believe it can strengthen one's spiritual journey?
I guess I've always been a very positive person, so prayer being a positive thing, I've always sort of fallen back on it. I guess with prayer, these days it's one of those things we do sort of consciously, but I also think there's a subconscious part to it as well. Doing the right thing, being nice to other people. But, in times of need, we all fall back on prayer.
So, Maria, how do you balance the pursuit of success and ambition with the teachings of humility and contentment found often in Christianity?
Well, that's a fairly interesting question. Based on my HR background, one of the D competencies with all our leadership groups is humility. So there is a real correlation there between humility, leadership, and also our faith. So for me, it's not a difficult thing combining all of those elements together.
Yeah. Do you think there's any conflict between seeking that promotion or getting higher in rank structure and Christianity?
I think if you do it with a place of a clean heart, without having to hurt someone to get there. As my father would say, stepping on other people's bones to get to where you want to in life. As long as you do it with that humility and do it from your own worth, then your Christian values will support you through that whole process and pursuit of wanting a career. And I've been blessed to have a career, and so at a fairly large scale. And I've certainly done it with a lot of humility, and it's funny because if you ask at work what are you best known for, it's that level of humility that you bring in. And it's something that you work on throughout the years. I certainly probably was not the most humble person in my youth, but I think wisdom and as you get older, a lot of that comes into play.
Yeah, very well said. And Damien, how do you view the intersection of faith and personal well-being, including the mental, emotional, and physical health aspects?
I think one of the things I've always taught our kids is, one, you've got to enjoy your own company. So, with that comes a sense of being a positive type person. I'm always looking on the bright side. And again, faith and Christianity is a big part of that. And again, it may not be in the world we live in today a conscious thing, but I think the way you present yourself and the way that you think about yourself is what's most important in the world. And I think faith, as I say, is a big part, and probably for both Maria and I, it's become a bigger part of our life. We grew up with faith, we probably lost our way a little bit, but now it's come back again, and we're probably happier people.
There's certainly a level of, from a mental health perspective, there's certainly a level of inner peace that you find. So that inner peace is what provides the healthy mindset, provides the healthy spirit within you. So that certainly has helped both of us, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, and I think the Christian teachings also, when it comes to the physical health aspect, your temple being your body. I think there's
still
no
working on that part.
And now to both of you, what advice would you offer to someone who is seeking to deepen their faith?
I'd keep it fairly simple. Just pray. Just pray. And I've done this of recent times, whether it be in my workplace, with individuals that are experiencing some hardship, some pain of losing loved ones, or whether it be my own children. Sometimes when life doesn't go the way they want it to go, just pray. And like I said, you don't have to pray in a specific way. Pray just from your heart. Go somewhere and use that time to reflect and search within your soul. And slowly, I feel that manifests into bigger things and wanting to come into the church, and it creates this hunger that certainly has happened for me over the past year or so, past 2 years. So that's probably the advice I'd give.
And I think for me, the greatest challenge everybody has is faith doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect. And we're probably thrown challenges and we question faith and we question everything, but that's the journey of life. So what I've always tried to do is not say, I pray for this, we all want to win tax lottery, but that's just not going to happen. I mean, and that's the way I live life, is living it for today and then bringing faith into it, which is just saying, let's do the right thing by each other. And that's the biggest part that I've always looked at with faith, is not looking for, the balloons and whistles, looking for reality.
And also, how do you maintain a sense of hope, purpose in challenging times? Drawn from your Christian faith, how do you maintain that hope?
One of the things that my faith has taught me is to never give up. If you give up during adverse times, then you lose hope. One of my favourite sayings, in whether it be on text or whatever, if someone's going through something, whether it be a family member or employee, it'll be about, don't give up the faith, will be my last, because you will, through having faith, be able to, the answers will come. I think sometimes in life we want to have the answers to all our issues and have the answers to all the questions. And I think from the moment that we realise that we can't have those, sometimes we just cannot do that. Whether it be healing someone that's quite ill, we don't have that capacity unless you're a doctor to heal that person. You've got to have that faith behind you and believe that the answers will come or the healing will come in that situation. So that's how I see it. Never give up.
Yeah, I think the challenge with society today is everyone's looking for the perfect world again. And I think what everyone has to realise, everyone has challenges. No one lives the perfect life. We've had, challenges in our life, but as long as you think of faith, think of, doing the right thing, you'll always come out the other side. Sometimes you're not quite sure which direction you're taking, but if you look positive at everything you do, that's the one advice I give everybody is, be positive in the world, be positive in yourself, and good things happen.
Yeah, and I think just adding to that, adversity is okay, and for the younger generation, I think it's important to understand life isn't just static. You're going to have your highs, you're going to have your lows. But I sense there's this false expectation when things don't go their way, suddenly they're down and they're out and they're choosing medication instead of perhaps faith and exploring spirituality. So for me, I think it's just important to realise it's what defines you is how you go through those adverse challenges in life. As a human being, and that's what makes you grow. Pain's okay, hurting a little bit is okay, but having the support of other Christians around you, I think is just as important, and keeping that faith is what's going to get you through it.
Yeah, and I always have a saying which sometimes sounds a bit weird, but we're here for a good time, not a long time. So you've got to enjoy life.
Well, I think we had a productive discussion, and I think we learned quite a lot today when it comes to hope and how do you balance your physical realm and your spiritual life and what happens in adverse conditions. But we thank you very much for joining us here.
Our pleasure.
And we're very glad that you were able to answer our questions today, and I hope people get a lot out of it. So I'd also like to present you with some iconography.
Beautiful.
So
thank you.
if you would like, you can
Yeah,
pick which one suits you most.
Yeah.
But yes. Please stand, we'll just...
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Hello everybody. We are conducting obviously the Pearls of Wisdom project, and we're looking for persons who have a wealth of knowledge and wisdom that they have gathered throughout their years being in the church, and we're specifically looking for the parishioners who would like to spread that sort of wisdom to our youth. We're doing this in the hopes that people who watch this will be able to understand the knowledge that is being imparted and then do so and utilize that knowledge in their day-to-day lives.
Yes, it's a really good opportunity for us to learn and connect with our parishioners because we know many people have been through so much in their lives and can impart that wisdom on the youth and younger generations for many years to come. And through this medium, our youth will be running the Pearls of Wisdom project for us to connect with these people, to really understand their stories and to really learn as much as we can from them.